Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Diamond. I lost over 65 pounds with the information that I'm sharing with you, and I'm here to help you lose weight and reclaim your health. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about 3 major signs that you are struggling with a sugar addiction. Now, the reason why I want to talk about this topic in this video is because I struggled with a sugar addiction for a very long time. I was obese since I was 5 years old, and I did not understand why I was so overweight. And I didn't understand that because a lot of the diet information that is out here is just incorrect, and it's a lot of lies that are being pushed in the diet culture and all these things, you know, the weight loss community. A lot of these things are not true, especially the over focusing on calories. That is one thing that I'm trying to debunk with my content. The reason why I want to do this video is because I struggled with a sugar addiction for years, and it caused me to have pre-diabetes, weight issues, obesity for pretty much my entire childhood and my entire adolescence. And I was finally able to lose the weight very recently in my early 20s, and now I'm here to help teach you guys how to do the same. And there are so many people out there in this world that are struggling with a sugar addiction and have no idea. And so that is why I wanted to make this video, to really raise awareness about sugar addiction. And it's not just sugar, it's also starch as well. So sugar and starch addiction, but I'm just gonna call it sugar because starches turn into sugars in your body, right? So many people are struggling with sugar addictions today. It is running rampant. I mean, we have an insane obesity rate in America specifically, and really all over the world. It's just getting worse and worse. And I believe that sugar addiction is the one addiction that no one wants to acknowledge is a real thing. Nobody wants to acknowledge that sugar is an addictive substance that is causing disease and obesity. You know, it's always, you know, you need to eat in moderation. You need to eat, you know, eat less and move more. You need to count your calories. You need to be less greedy. All that, all those lies, without acknowledging that sugar is actually an addictive substance that is causing people to have real life health issues, that is causing obesity. You know, it's not just the overconsumption of sugar that's the problem, it's the sugar, because it leads people, eating sugar is what leads people to overdose on sugar, right? Overconsume the sugar. And so in this video, I just wanted to highlight 3 major signs that you are actually dealing with a sugar addiction. So the first sign that I wanted to share with you guys is that if you feel like you are insanely hungry first thing in the morning, if you can't go a long time without a meal or a snack, especially a high sugar or high carb snack, you are dealing with a sugar addiction. Now, the reason why this happens is because your body can either run off of sugar or it can run off of your body fat. So when you are constantly hungry all the time, if you're hungry first thing in the morning, the first thing you can think about when you wake up is food. You're constantly needing a snack. You constantly need some type of pick-me-up, some type of snack all the time. That is because your body's running on sugar. It's not running on your body fat. So you want to learn how to use your body fat, how to teach your body how to use its own body fat as its energy source. Now, for those of you that already have my sugar rehab course, which is going to be linked down below for those of you that don't have it, I did talk about this in the course. I did teach you guys exactly how to switch from using sugar for energy to using your body fat as its energy source. And what you really need to do is you need to train your body to be using body fat and not sugar. When you're constantly craving sugar all the time, you're constantly needing a snack, you're constantly hungry first thing in the morning, you can't go a long time without eating. You struggle with intermittent fasting, which is, you know, eating on a schedule, right? Maybe a 16-8 schedule or an 18-6 schedule or a 24 schedule, whatever it is. If you're struggling to fast, if you're constantly needing a snack, you are dealing with sugar addiction. Because what's happening is your body is using sugar for energy and it's using sugar for its fuel. And it constantly needs its hit of sugar. It constantly needs its next hit of sugar in order to sustain the energy. And that's not a healthy way of being. Your body is not meant to be constantly needing more sugar and more sugar to sustain itself. Your body is actually meant to be using its own body fat as its energy source. It's a lot more of a sustainable source of energy. And as a matter of fact, people that are slim, even a slim person has about 70,000 calories or more of body fat to use as energy. So if you're someone that's overweight, you have so much energy that you could be tapping into, so much energy of body fat that you could be tapping into for energy and for fuel, but you're not, because you're constantly consuming the sugar. And so what I teach you guys in my course is exactly how to switch over from being stuck using sugar for energy to start using body fat for energy. And that will change your life, because you won't be as hungry. And when you're not as hungry, you don't eat as much. And when you don't eat as much, you don't gain weight. Okay. And then on top of that, you know, sugar does cause these blood sugar spikes and all that, and insulin spikes that also lead to you staying in a state of fat storing rather than fat burning. So that's point number one, is you definitely have a sugar addiction if you struggle with not eating for a while, if you struggle with intermittent fasting, if you constantly feel like you need a snack, if you can't go a long time without eating. Now, number two sign that you are struggling with a sugar addiction is every single time you have a little bit of sugar, you end up on a binge. You can't stop. You know, you end up on something that I like to call the sugar roller coaster. I talk about this a lot as well. The sugar roller coaster is basically when you have, you know, a little sugar, it spikes your blood sugar, it leads to a blood sugar crash, and then you end up chasing that same high that you had the first time. You know, when you had that sugar, it caused that spike, that blood sugar spike, and then a crash, and you end up trying to chase that spike again and again and again. You know, when you are on a blood sugar roller coaster, that is almost synonymous, if not the same thing, as what an addict experiences on a drug, right? The same way how someone takes a drug and they experience a lot of a dopamine rush, and then the minute that they start to sober up, they start feeling down, they start feeling like they need that next hit of that drug. That's the same thing with sugar and a sugar roller coaster. You know, eat something that is high in sugar or high in starch, you end up having this high blood sugar spike, and then it comes crashing right down, and you're seeking that next blood sugar spike, right? You're looking for that hit of energy. And that is an addictive cycle. That is not healthy. Our bodies are not meant to be on that type of cycle. And so what you want to do is you want to get off that cycle. Now, the major sign that you're on that cycle is if you are constantly eating sugar, like every single time you eat sugar, you just can't seem to stop. Same thing with starches like chips and things like that. You have one, you tell yourself you only have a little handful, and you end up eating the entire bag, right? You tell yourself you'll have 2 cookies and you end up eating an entire sleeve of cookies. That is a major sign that you are struggling with a sugar addiction. You're on a sugar roller coaster. You can't stop binging, right? These kinds of foods cause binging. These high sugar, high starch foods, these processed foods, they lead to binging, because not only are they lacking nutritional value, they're causing this blood sugar roller coaster that is really, really, really hard to get off of. And so that's exactly what I teach you guys in my course, is how to get off of this roller coaster, how to really heal from this sugar addiction that is causing you to binge and overeat and have a lack of control over yourself and over your body and over what you eat. And now the third sign that you're struggling with the sugar addiction is going to be like the most obvious one, that you have a lot of sugar cravings. You have a hard time saying no to sugar cravings. And that's because, like I mentioned in the first point, your body's running on sugar. So of course it's going to crave more and crave more and crave more the more that you eat it. So the more that you eat it, you're teaching your body to run off of it. So of course it's going to crave more for energy. So if you're someone that battles a lot of sugar cravings, you always need a sweet treat after your meal, you always need, you know, a hit of some type of starch or some type of sugar, you are definitely dealing with a sugar addiction. And the major thing that I really want to raise awareness about is the fact that people that are obese, people that are pre-diabetic or type 2 diabetic or whatever it is, people that are struggling with insulin resistance, all of these things, it is not a food addiction that you're dealing with. It is a sugar addiction that you're dealing with, okay? I don't see anyone addicted to food in general. You're not addicted to meat. You're not addicted to dairy. You're not addicted to fiber. You're not addicted to vegetables. You're not addicted to healthy fats. You are addicted to sugar. You are addicted to starches. So let's call it what it is. Let's call it a sugar addiction. And that is exactly why I created Sugar Rehab, which is a rehab for those of you that are actually truly dealing with a sugar addiction. If you resonated with any of the 3 points that I mentioned in this video, you have a sugar addiction. And the only way to truly heal from it is to completely get your body off of the sugar in order to transition to using its own body fat for energy and to get used to not having sugar and starches on a daily basis. And Sugar Rehab has been created to help those of you that are ready to make that transition to fat burning. If you're ready to learn how to eat for your body, learn how to eat healthy, how to lose the weight for good, how to heal your addiction to these processed foods, how to heal prediabetes and type 2 diabetes. That is why I created this course. So with all that being said, I really hope you guys found this video helpful. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.